Deals. Welcome. We are live. We are not live. We're going to be talking about negotiate real estate deals. So it depends on what type of deals you are looking to buy, but there's always a few. Can you hear me okay? There's always a few key things that you should be looking for. So whether it's residential, whether it's commercial, whether you're looking to fix and flip it, whether you're looking to wholesale it, whether you are looking to buy it seller finance or subject to, or a shopping center or an apartment complex. There are a few basic rules that you should be looking for. And I guess in terms of talking about negotiation strategies, we can discuss how to negotiate some of those deals. With negotiations, you got to understand that this is a chess match, and this is a game that you're playing with the seller. And so, or the broker, the agent, or whomever you're speaking to, the wholesaler. And as you go into these conversations, you need to be approaching it as such, and you need to be using tact and strategy as you go in to negotiate these, because it's not just a make an offer, get the offer accepted, wham bam, you're done. A lot of these deals take a long time uh, to get done. They take a lot of negotiations. They take a lot of back and forth. They take a lot of offers. They take a lot of follow up. And in order to negotiate the best deals, you need to approach it with the right strategy and with the right approach. So let's take a look at um, some of the best ways to negotiate some of these deals. So there's a few things that you need to have in place. First and foremost, you need to have your knowledge. Understand the property, market, and the opportunity. This is first and foremost. It's going to be very hard for you to go into the next part of the negotiation strategy where you need to understand what the seller really wants, what's their motivation, what's the story, and be able to identify what the opportunity is if you don't understand the property, the market, or the opportunity. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, uh, you need to know you need to have your market knowledge. You need to have this in your head. You need to study the market that you're looking to invest in. Because as you go into negotiations, if you don't have this knowledge, number one, it's going to be impossible for you to negotiate it. And number two, uh, it's likely that you're going to get beat in negotiations because you're not going to know what you're talking about. We good? So, what you need to know, let's say that you're contacted or you contacted an off market seller here in Austin. It's a house that needs a lot of work done to it. An investor is going to buy it. Maybe it's a wholesale deal for you. Maybe it's a flip for you. Maybe you structure a seller finance deal on it and you're able to get good terms on that. If you don't know the following information, it's going to be very hard for you to negotiate and structure a deal. So I sent this to somebody the other day. Let me read what I wrote. Give me one moment. And there's a ton more that goes into this, but this is just very basic information that you need to know about these deals that you are looking to, negotiate and structure. So first and foremost, prior to going into the meeting with the seller, This is all information that and data that you should have in your head. You should know this about the market. You should know this about the neighborhood. That way, you can negotiate appropriately. So, first and foremost, what is the house worth as is? Right? We're going in to make a cash offer. We want to offer below what the as is value is in order to either A, wholesale it, B, like I mentioned, seller finance, fix and flip, buy and hold. You want to always buy below market value. So you need to have a good understanding of what the house is worth as is prior to going into the meeting. What's the house worth fixed up? Right? So after you renovate the property, what is the ARV value of the property? What is the land worth? If this house isn't worth anything and you were to sell the land alone, what would the lot sell for to somebody who's going to come in and build on it? What is a duplex selling for in the neighborhood? Why would you want to know that? Well, it helps. Uh, it helps create an understanding of what the cost per door is for different types of assets within the neighborhood. A single family house on a single family home lot, a duplex, what is the cost per door in the duplex? What is the cost per door in a fourplex? And how do these prices and price per door change depending on, uh, you know, the asset is? What is the current rent as is? If I were to rent it out to somebody today in its as is condition, if that's even possible, what would it rent for as is? What is the rent fixed up? After I renovate the property, do a make ready on it, what will the property rent out for to a family or to a tenant who's wanting to move into it? Can I rent it as is? Or am I going to be required to put money into the property and fix it up? How much work is needed to go into the house to fix it up? Is it $10,000 worth of paint and maybe some flooring? Is it a full gut and renovation that's going to cost me 80 to 100K? Do I just need to replace the cabinets, the vanities, the countertops? Do I need to replace some ceiling fans? How much is it going to cost to completely fix up this property and get it into its ARV condition? And on the other hand of that, how much is it going to cost me to just do a make ready on the property? What are the property taxes? How much is my insurance going to be? How much is management going to cost me if I am renting it out? Um, what would a monthly payment need to be in order for me to cash flow on rent? And there's so much more, but those are just basic data points that you should know about these properties as you're going in. And this is an example for a single family house that we're looking to negotiate right now with somebody. And we were, teaching them and showing them like, as we go into this appointment with the seller, you need to have this information. Otherwise, you're going in there blind. You're going in there naked. You don't have any grounds to stand on. It's going to be impossible for you to negotiate. You need to have your market knowledge and the data in order to negotiate effectively. So, what if you don't have this market knowledge or this data? Well, you need to learn it. You need to study it prior to going into a seller appointment. You need to do your research. Um, you know, this is uh, this is a profession. If you're wanting to make money in real estate, you need to take it seriously, and you need to do your research prior to going into these appointments and into these negotiations. So, understand the property, the market, and the opportunity. Second, it's number one. Number two is number two. The step number two in negotiating the best deals is fully underline, understand sellers' motivation and their problem. If you want to get really good at negotiating and if you want to get really good at structuring deals, uh, not only do you need to be a student of the game and know the property, the market, the what the opportunity is, how you can structure a deal, and all this data, but you need to also fully understand the seller's motivation and their problem. And so, ways that you do this is by going in to these conversations and these negotiations by just asking questions. It's going to be impossible for you to solve a problem for them if you don't fully understand what their problem is. So, in this scenario, After this was on Friday, we went to go view this property. So as we went to go meet the seller at the house, it turns out that the seller's mom actually owns this property. Mom is, getting older and is getting into a shape where she's less and less able to take care of herself. They've owned this property since the 70s. Mom, is iffy on if she wants to sell or not. Daughter is the one who's really calling the shots, and she's the one who we spoke to and met at the property. And daughter, is running us through the scenario where, uh, you know, they've thought about fixing up the property. They don't necessarily need all the money from it. What's more so the problem with them is that, uh, you know, it's kind of just becoming an issue and a headache a little bit to just maintain the property and hold on to it. It'd be much easier if mom would move in with daughter and they could get rid of the property and kind of forget about this one thing that they have to spend so much time taking care of. Keeping the yard mowed. If anything gets, if anything goes wrong with the house, they have to fix it. Paying the property taxes. Here in Austin, the property taxes are not cheap, so that's costing them a good amount of money, even though they own the property free and clear. So as we then, we started asking questions about the situation. Why do you want to sell? When do you want to sell? What would be ideal for you to sell? Do you want to fix the property up? How much money do you need to sell this for? Do you actually even need any money? Do you just want to get rid of it? Would you be open to seller financing? How much money would you need down? Would you be okay with these monthly payments? Um, you know, daughter has a brother. Is brother or mom, uh, do we need to bring them in the conversation? And what we found out as we, spoke to the seller is ultimately what I just said is that the problem currently is that mom lives there alone. They have to keep up after the house. They don't necessarily need this money for anything else. They're not looking to get as much as they possibly could for it. They've already explored other cash offers from, Googling sell my house fast cash. And they didn't sell at those times because they thought maybe they would put money into it, fix it up, sell it at a higher price. A lot of properties in the neighborhood are being renovated or torn down and built up from there. They wish they would have sold 2 years ago, and ultimately, it would just be a lot easier for mom and daughter if they could just sell this house, move mom in with the daughter. So until you fully understand the seller's motivation and the problem, then you're not going to be able to effectively present solutions that can be a win for you and a win for the seller. In this situation, we could offer cash, which we did, and our cash offer is going to be around in line what the other cash offers are that she's received, and she's received cash offers for it, years in a row, and they've substantially gotten lower as the market shifted and changed since 2021. But now that we know that she doesn't necessarily need all this money cash day one, to pay for something or to go move into something, or there's not like this need for the equity out of this property, then that opens up the door for us to present some seller finance options. Well, what if we just give you $25,000 down and we make this monthly payment to you moving forward? Because we're going to have to put all this money into the property and fix it up. We're going to have to find a tenant. We're going to have property taxes, insurance, property management, maintenance, all these expenses. And we need our monthly payment to be here in order to get the cash flow that we need based on the down payment that we gave. So, by fully understanding the seller's motivation and their problem, we're able to start structuring uh, opportunities and deals and offers based on our understanding of the property, the market, the opportunity, and what the seller wants. Um, Number three is present options. So, like I mentioned, we're going to give her multiple options. We're going to tell her hey, here's the cash price that we could make on this property, that we can offer on this property. Either us or one of our investors will pay this. It'll be quick cash close. But because it's cash, because the property needs so much work, we have to be here at this price in order to make money on it on our end. We could buy it from you via seller financing. We might be able to pay a slightly higher price in a seller finance scenario. We'll give you a down payment, and we'll make these monthly payments to you moving forward. And the reason that they need to be this amount is because it's only at this amount or less where we will cash flow enough for this to be a good investment for us. You know, maybe there's an option where we put the money into the house and we fix and flip it. And maybe she signs some sort of JV agreement with us, and we put the 80K into the property. We put the 80K into the property, we sell it, we list it in the market, sell it for the ARV value, and we split the profits in some sort of way that makes sense to them. This is where we start to present options to figure out what's most important to them. Maybe we just list it on the market. If you don't like either of those options, we could list it on the market, but listing it on the market in this condition at this time in the market, you're probably going to be around this price anyways. And after closing costs and commissions and everything else, you're probably going to be around this cash price that we're currently at right now. And it's going to be an investor that buys it. So if you'd rather list it on the market, sure, we can go that route. We can pay cash for it at this price. It'd be about the same amount you're probably going to net by listing on the market anyways. But we'll avoid having to go through that entire process, and we'll just buy it, or one of our investors will. Or we can structure a seller finance deal. When I structured and presented the seller finance option to her and explained how the taxes that she's going to be paying is really just on the interest that she receives from the payments, that was also really attractive to her. She didn't even understand that seller financing was an option. So by throwing that option out there, explaining it to her, and running through these options and these scenarios with her, is what allows more opportunities to open in order to get a deal done. That's a win-win. And last but not least is follow up. Uh, I'll tell you that like 99% of the offers that you make, and 99% of the deals that you're trying to negotiate and work are not going to happen on the first offer, the first time you present it. You have to follow up with people, whether it's agents, brokers, sellers, whomever it is. All the money is made in the follow up. We make thousands of offers, and we have to follow up on those offers over time in order to work and get the best deals. A lot of times, the offers that we make don't work for the seller at the time that we make them. But if they sit on the market, or if they don't find any other buyers over the next 3 to 6 months, they become much more motivated and open to hearing another offer for us. Typically, if we do that, the original offer that we made no longer stands, and the offer gets a little bit less, depending on what's going on. But they always come back if they're unable to sell it. And so what you want to do is be the person who's continuously following up with the broker, the agent, the seller, the wholesaler, to see if the offer, would now be accepted, or if they're open to working the deal with you. Because a lot of times it's not going to happen on the first offer that you make. You have to continuously follow up with the sellers or the brokers to get the deal done. um, and it helps you, stand out. They respect it, and you're ultimately just trying to help them. So make sure you always follow up on every single offer that you make until it sells. Um, so let's go back through that. Do we have any questions on any of this so far, Kat? On any of those platforms or Instagram? Understanding the property, the market, and the opportunity. I don't know how to emphasize how important this is to y'all, but if you want to be successful in anything that you're doing, you need to be a student of whatever game you're looking to. And if you want to excel at it, and if you want to do, really well, specifically within real estate investing, you need this knowledge. You need to know all the things that I've talked about. What properties are selling for, what the value is as is, what it's worth fixed up, how much work is needed to get it there, what is the rental amount in the neighborhood. Don't just choose some random number. If there's three, properties listed for lease at 2,300 that are all similar condition and similar size and similar location to this one, and they've been sitting on the market for 6 months, I think it's fair to say that maybe that's not the going rate for the rents in that neighborhood. Maybe the rent needs to be a little bit less. Um, how much your property manager is going to charge you. What are the property taxes? What is a new build selling for next door? What are duplexes, quadplexes, triplexes, 10 units, apartment complexes? What are studios renting out for? You need to have all of this information, because if you don't have this data and if you don't study the market you're looking to invest in, number one, you're probably going to buy bad deals. Number two, you're not going to be very effective, if at all, in negotiations. And number three, you're just going to get taken advantage of, probably. And you're never going to buy good deals or be able to structure and negotiate good deals if you don't have the proper information to make educated decisions on the investments that you're looking at. Again, just going in blindly and throwing, I don't know. You're just throwing shit out there. You need to have the proper information so that you can structure, negotiate, and work the best deals. Number two, ask a ton of questions. You have to be genuinely curious in the seller and solving this problem, because if you don't solve the problem, you're not going to get a deal. And in order to properly solve a problem, you need to fully understand what they're going through, what their motivation is, what their pain points are, what they're looking to accomplish. That way, you can, number three, present solutions and offers that help accomplish what they're looking to do. Um, I was going to say something on that. You have to be genuinely curious and ask a ton of questions. And if you're not genuinely curious, and if you're not going in there and trying to understand what's going on with them, you're not going to be able to structure the best deal. Number three, present options. So multiple options. When they tell you, let's just say you're a retail real estate agent. When you go into this opportunity with a seller and they tell you that they don't want to list the property on the market, if that's all you know how to do, then it sounds like you're not getting a deal. If you're a wholesaler and they tell you that they don't want a low cash offer, they want to sell at this price that doesn't make sense for a wholesale deal with a cash offer, but they're open to seller financing terms, but you don't know how to do that, and you go into this situation, then you just lost the deal. So you need to be versatile. You need to understand the entrepreneur method. This right here. You need to understand the entrepreneur method. That way, right here, it's blank. You need to understand the entrepreneur method, because if you don't understand the entrepreneur method, then you're not gonna be able to pivot, negotiate, structure, and be versatile enough to get any deal done at any time. And that's what the entrepreneur method is. It is being able to present multiple solutions to whomever, whenever, to be able to get deals done. Listing it on the market, wholesaling it, fixing, flipping it, keeping it as buy and hold rental, purchasing it subject to, purchasing it with seller financing terms, doing a JV partnership with them and offering to put up the money to fix up the house and then flip it and split the profits. Maybe the house is a tear down and they're willing to, contribute the land to a new development, and the developer comes in and builds on it. You need to understand all the creative ways to get deals done in order to get more deals done, and also to negotiate the best deals possible. If you only have one solution and one exit strategy, then you'll always do one thing, and you're also going to miss out on 95+% of all the opportunities that you're going to see. So you can either A, send those opportunities to us and the other entrepreneurs, and we'll take advantage of them, or B, you can learn how to implement and practice the entrepreneur method to get more deals done and to make more money and to negotiate the best deals. And then last but not least is follow up. Whether you like it or not, uh, you're in sales. And as you go in to make an offer and to negotiate, you are selling the seller on yourself, and you're selling the seller on your offer and how it's going to help them accomplish what they want to accomplish. So you need to follow up with anything you're doing in sales. Follow up, follow up, follow up. I'd be very surprised if you go out there and make 10 offers and 10 offers get accepted unless you're making really bad offers. But if you're making really good offers that are good investment opportunities for you, I'd say that probably 0 out of 10 get accepted on the first time that you make it. And if it does get accepted the first time you make it, you probably offered too much. So you need to follow up. You need to negotiate, and this is the basic formula for how to negotiate. Now, there's 100 things in between here that you need to get good at. But first and foremost, I would start with the data and the knowledge and the understanding of the market of where you're looking to invest because it is the most important thing. If you don't have this information, you're not going to be able to ask the right questions. You're not going to be able to fully understand motivation. You're not going to be able to present any options. And it's going to be impossible for you to structure an offer in order to do that. We have any questions? If you go to Zillow, if you have a friend who's a licensed realtor, get access to the MLS and study the market. Go to Zillow or Realtor.com or any of those places and study. Go to open houses, look at properties for sale. Speak to property managers. Go to their websites, look at properties for lease. You need to have this information, and it's extremely important. And you need to be a student of the game. Um, so negotiating the best deals possible. This is how you do it, and it takes practice. The first time that you do it, you're not going to be an expert, but you need to do it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the more you do it, the better that you're going to get, and the better you're going to be able to structure and negotiate deals. On 11/8, what is that? Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday at 6 p.m. Hosting a live webinar. Uh, you need to register for the webinar. What is it? November training? Is that the? It's already in the comments here. But in case you are not. All right. So in order to register for the webinar, November 8th at 6 p.m., what we're going to be doing is we're going to be teaching you how to uh, invest in real estate and build wealth. I'll probably be talking to you guys for like an hour and a half. Um, and you have to register for the webinar. It's free. Slash, make sure you register. There's only a few days left to register. It's not going to be live on the social media channels. It'll be via Zoom, and you have to register in order to get the link. Go to TREcommunity.com/NOV November dash training. Uh, this would be a good time for us to get together, spend about an hour and a half on one evening. I know some of you guys are at work right now listening. When it's in the evening, you're going to be able to take notes, fully pay attention, and be able to experience the entire hour and a half training that we're going to go over building wealth through real estate. Uh, Also, too, for anybody who is local here in Texas, we would love to see you December 1st and 2nd, Dallas, Texas. We're hosting the Entrepreneur Real Estate Workshop, 2-day fully packed event. Over 200 plus real estate entrepreneurs are going to be there. 2 full live days of training, going through the entrepreneur method, going through all the stuff that I was teaching you guys today. Me and Matt showing y'all live what you need to do in order to practice the entrepreneur method and how to get more deals done. Seller financing, wholesaling, fix and flip, negotiating deals, where to find deals, getting deals under contract, how to find investors in capital, how to find partners, how to get loans, and ultimately how to structure your business and your real estate investment business. That way you can continue to grow and scale. It's not just going to be me and Matt in front of a screen talking to you the whole time. This is an interactive workshop. We're going to be doing things together, answering questions, being able to call deals, negotiate deals, work deals live with you guys. And it's basically free. I mean, the value that you're going to get for the cost to attend the event is ridiculous. I think the cheapest ticket possible is like 197 for 2 full days. Uh, and if you participate, you show up, you network with everybody there, you take notes, you bring deals, you bring opportunities that we can help you with. You're going to easily leave there with over $1 million worth of value. So for anybody who is interested in that, that is going to be terrycommunity.com/REWS, Real Estate Workshop. We hope to see you there December 1st and 2nd. We'll see you at the webinar November 8th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, go work on negotiating deals. Go learn your market knowledge and the data so that you can be more effective as you're out there speaking to sellers.